This episode is brought to you by Loot Crate, the box for geeks, gamers, and pop culture nerds. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 items of gamer and pop culture goodies, like vinyl figurines, comics, shirts, and more. Go to lootcrate.com/KF and enter the code KF to get 10% off any new subscription. May's theme is Unite, so sign up now and you'll get swag from the supergroups like the Avengers, Team Fortress, and more. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Your hair's looking on point today.
Is
Greg.
it?
On
Here's
point.
the problem
fleek.
with the hair right now, I'll tell you what. I got this girlfriend, Christine. Love her to death. But the problem is she's on this fucking herbal, fucking organic everything bullshit, whatever. And for the most part, I don't care. Right? She yells at me every day that I have to put face cream on when I'm coming to bed.
After
And
what?
she always waits for me to get into bed. After I come out of the bathroom when I'm ready for going to bed.
Okay.
What happened before then? Usually Marvel Heroes. Anyways, she yells at me, you gotta put this face cream on your face. But then I've already been touching my phone, so I do like the. She's like, just fucking. She gave me this hair gel now. She's trying to replace my hair gel, and it's the hair. I've been using that Garnier Fructis.
Oh yeah,
for
I'm
years
very
or whatever.
familiar with that. The green little
The putties,
thing. You open up the
yellow
stuff,
top.
the
I had to come borrow yours at PAX East a lot.
Yeah, it was good.
By the way, that's the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Hello.
And so now she's got me this new one that's the organic-y thing or whatever, and it's just trying to find the right balance of how much to use. Because I had used it, and then we'd filmed a bunch of Let's Plays, and I looked at my hair, and I was like, that shit is not holding. But today, I put a little bit more in, use it in a different way. It seems like, so far, the jury's in if you're listening to Nick Scarpino. I look fucking amazing.
You keep saying this
fleek.
term, the jury's in, but you're saying the jury's in when you say it.
Is it like roof, where I don't know that I'm saying the word wrong? It's just how my Chicago accent pronounce it.
I hate it when
jury
people say
is in.
wolf.
Did
and
I
they
say it right
wolf.
there? The jury is in.
Get out of here.
The jury is in.
Am I saying it right or wrong? Jury.
Jury, yeah.
Okay, but I've been saying Jerry. The
you
Jerry
absolutely
is in
say.
is what I've
I
been
gotta go.
saying. All right. That was Colin Moriarty, everybody. What's wrong? Oh, you're freaking out about your glasses? My glasses. They're probably long on Colin
They
Moriarty.
don't look dirty.
They feel
But if they're dirty to you, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter that
they definitely are.
nobody can see that they're dirty. It's your own eyeballs not being able to. You got the little boop things floating in there. You don't like that one
I
bit.
feel like we're getting crazier. Do you guys feel that way?
I thought this was a good. I think.
No, this is great. This is great for the audience, but I feel like we might. There's a possibility that our minds might be slipping now at this point.
Now? It's
because
like
we've been
75 episodes
we've been
of the
around
Game
each
Over
other
Greggy show.
for so long that like it's like all of our little nuances and craziness is just accepted, and now it's just growing.
Sure. There's
know
no.
what
We
I
don't
mean?
hide as much.
No,
we
we
had the
don't.
conversation the other day about how we fart around each other.
Yeah.
And that's just.
But you've always farted around me.
But that's
Because
just how it's
it
always
makes
been.
me- you know it makes me uncomfortable, and I'm like, Greg, and you just laugh.
Yeah.
You just laugh.
Yeah, I do.
My favorite thing is when Colin does it, and he'll always say something afterwards like, it had to be done. And he just says it in that Colin-ass way, and you're like, I
As,
guess it
he
did.
walks away and leaves you with it.
Better out than in. He'll apologize if it smells. Somehow Colin eats all this horrible food and it just doesn't usually smell.
I don't smell. Yours doesn't smell either.
It
Oh, yeah, it
feels
does.
like it
Mine
smells,
does.
though. That's the thing. You know when your fart feels like
Oh,
it
yeah,
smells,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
doesn't?
When it's warm.
There's a warmth to it, yeah, and a slow when the fart exit. It actually must be parallel to each other in the sense that gas will expand as it's warmer, so and condense when it's colder. So if it's a little bit warmer, it feels like it's a little more of a struggle for it to come out, and it's gonna smell a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can shot call like right before you even fart. You're like, this one's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
awful.
I know. Based
it
on
comes.
just the feeling of how it's working through the pipeline, that it's going to be a bad one.
The gurgles.
And sometimes you save it if you're with your significant other and you know it's coming out, and you're like, you know what, it's the time for it. There hasn't been one like this for a while, and you eke it out and just wait.
I've often thought about that. Like when you kind of get it in the reserves, when you get that moment where you're like, am I going to make it
water
past
on your
this?
glasses?
Like, is it about to pop out, or can I suck this in? And then you reach that point of either it pops and you're fucked, because it's a really double or nothing thing. You know what I mean? Like when you are trying to hold back a fart, it's either going to be twice as loud as it was going to be, or it'll just do the thing.
I don't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
See, I think that can't be healthy when you try to hold it back and it comes out for a second and then rumbles back in.
Yeah.
You're like, there's nothing good.
But my thing with that though is like, is it like just building up? So like,
Yes.
is
It's
it
building
my
up to
thing.
explode like the containment unit in Ghostbusters.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a sign, all right. Going out of business. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, you can throw us a few bones over on patreon.com/kindafunny and get the episodes early each and every Friday. But if you don't have the money to give us, no big big deal. We post it topic by topic, day by day over on youtube.com/kindafunny before we post the entire thing on the following Friday on YouTube and MP3 services around the globe. I'm going to start with my topic because we're burning daylight on this. But stick with me. This is a bigger conversation than this one instance. So we call it Evergreen. Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon. He's Swedish, right? That's where he comes from?
Sweden.
Joss Whedon.
Yes.
Directed the Avengers movies.
Correct.
Did this show called Buffy.
Loved it.
He's friends with Ashley Johnson.
Love
He
that.
has quit Twitter. Just straight up off Twitter. And it comes in the wake of him getting a whole bunch of, nasty tweets and all these things. My thought process on this, and I want to talk about quitting Twitter. I want to talk about let's just dial it back. Because for me, it all started, and I saw the canary in the coal mine with the reveal of the Joker. When they put out the Joker, David Ayers, or is it just Ayer?
It's no.
David Ayer.
Yes,
Do you know movies at all? This is the one thing we're supposed
I
to be on
thought
the
Zack
show.
Snyder put out the
David Ayer.
David Ayer put it out. Okay.
And put out the thing.
He's the director of Suicide Squad. Yeah.
It's too late now. You've already lost all
I'm an
credibility with our
a-hole.
audience. You've lost all credibility with our audience.
Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. My glasses are exactly the same as they were before.
Maybe your sight's getting worse.
No,
That's
not
how
the
Greg
shirt.
Miller does it. He's kicking just fine.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just can't fucking take it anymore.
It's okay. You are losing your mind.
It reminds you, in Hook, the guy that loses his marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Then he
happening.
finds him at the end.
Yeah,
Spoilers for
he
the end
does.
of Hook.
Things are gonna end well for you, Colin. Don't worry.
Yeah,
You've seen
when
Hook.
you're
Keep trying to tell
95, your
myself
glasses.
that.
My glasses were clean the whole time, man. You fly away to
Turns out
Neverland.
my eyeballs
Be
were
a
dirty.
95-year-old man hanging out with a bunch of kids eating invisible fucking food.
It's fine, Peter.
No, that's a different
Take
Peter
the
Pan.
food, put it on your body.
They put out the Joker
PETA.
image. And we've talked about this before on some of the shows. They put up the Joker image, and my first reaction was, ooh, I don't like, ooh. And I wrestled with it in an airport terminal for a while, what I really thought about it. But I didn't tweet. And I didn't want to tweet, oh, what a horrible thing, because we create content. We put content out there, and I feel bad when, we put it out and somebody wants to just yell at us or say something negative, right? But then the internet took the ball and ran with it, and was just fucking horrible about this thing, and that it was a travesty, and it was an embarrassment to the Joker, and these guys are terrible, and they should be taken off the movie, and da-da-da. And I thought about it, and I was like, man, what a fucking shitty fucking place for these creators to be in. We, have our audience, the best friends or everything,
Best
who are
audience on the
generally
planet.
incredibly positive. Once in a while, somebody will stumble onto YouTube who doesn't know who we are, and they're mean in the comments, and then everybody's like, stop, that's not what we do here. We're a nice bunch of people. But to sit there and to take a property like Joker, or like the Avengers, in Joss Whedon's place. Joss Whedon's place. Yeah. To take it out there and do it and have to interpret it for all these people, the amount of hate they get. And now this doubles back to the thing we're always talking about with internet hate, right? That we were trained in internet hate by IGN, not because IGN is IGN, but just that we put up so many pieces of content on a weekly basis that by your third week there, you learned to, okay, don't worry about it. I'm not going to pay
You got a
attention.
thick skin.
It's drowned out.
Thick skin.
Drowned out all the very, very vocal minority.
Right.
But when you get to these creators, they're making a movie for 2.5 years. They put out the movie, and then they get the vocal minority tweeting at them, saying they suck. And it seems like, all right, they're the vocal majority when they're not, Tim.
No,
they're
they're
not
not.
at all.
Not at all.
So my question is, looking at this, do you see more people, directors and such, actors and such, leaving Twitter, not trying to be a part of it? Do you see that you think there'll ever be a chilling effect? Can this get so bad that directors will be offered, hey, Nick Scarpino, you're a director here, up and coming in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to do the Nightwing movie.
Totally.
And you're going to be like, no way. Like, I don't want to even deal with the fans. Like, is this now a legitimate concern, you think, when people go home?
What is happening
This
with
one
this
today
thing?
is all up in my fucking grill. Do you think this is a legitimate concern that when people are now taking movie projects like this, I know, it's bad news bears, that they have to worry about this? Is the internet in Twitter harassment and or online harassment gotten to the point where it's being leveraged in a decision?
No.
No. I think that the problem with Twitter is that, or not the problem with Twitter, the beauty of Twitter is that it is the amplifier for the voice, right? Of the minority or the majority. I think in regards to the Joker, I don't think it was a vocal minority that came out and was like, what's with those tattoos? Pretty sure every single person on the planet that saw that was like, there's something a little bit off. Not every single person on the planet. I think the majority of people that saw that didn't like the image because of those specific things, and they voiced their opinion on it. And guess what? They came out and said, oh, you know what? That was just a lot of. I don't know if it was speculation or if they actually came out and said those aren't real. He's not going to have the tattoos in the movie. That was just sort of like an anniversary stunt or something like that they were doing.
I'm still very unclear on the whole matter.
I'm very unclear on the whole matter too. But it's kind of interesting if you put that out, you get the instant feedback, but you have to take the good with the bad. You can't have it both ways. because Twitter is, by all accounts, it's one of the most honest platforms out there. You only have 140 characters. You kind of throw out what you can throw out, and people can just rip you apart instantaneously like that. So you really do have to take the good with the bad on that. And, for every bad thing that Joss Whedon got, potentially for Avengers: Age of Ultron, he probably got about $1 billion more for
bullshit.
Avengers.
Bullshit.
Well, he
think
did
so?
in dollars.
You don't
I mean,
think-
that's the thing.
That,
It's
no,
like
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, like the creators of Fast and Furious right now, like it's all relative. Like Vin Diesel being on Twitter when Fast 7 came out was probably one of the most powerful and like awesome things for him, because every single person was tweeting at him, probably going, "Dude, great job. We're gonna miss Paul Walker. You guys,
Yeah.
it was a fitting send
But
off for him."
that's not apples to apples. That's apples to oranges. And the fact that like I still stand by the fact that like this is the IGN argument of like 100,000 people watch this video. There are 200 comments. There are 15 comments telling me to go to hell. The majority of people who see something see it, love it, and
Well,
bounce. And it's the same way it happens every time with actors, where I'll watch a movie. This happened when I went to Mizzou for the football game. Me and my friend watched a movie on an iPad waiting to get into tailgate, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the movie, I'm like, that movie was awesome. So I went to IMDb, found the actors' names, went to Twitter, found them on Twitter, send them a message saying, "You did great." And they both responded in like 10 minutes because they're so not trained to do that. Like, there is a barrier to entry to give anybody any kind of feedback, and it's the hateful responses that send people out, I think, more than the good responses.
Well, let's back up for a second. Context-wise, why did he quit? What was he getting? Was it a bunch?
I don't think he's released a statement. You imagine it's
because of
just over Twitter.
backlash from
That's that.
Avengers
I mean,
Age of Ultron, or
There's a
what?
whole sexist thing
it's
going on right
specifically
now.
with the Black Widow or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, is that? I didn't know that was
Yeah,
specific.
There's like
specifically with that.
sexist undertones in Age of Ultron and like misogynistic
Not just
stuff.
the Jeremy Renner thing. It was the overarching
was-
thing.
Yeah.
I saw that wall of tweets that somebody had assembled where they put all the stuff about like why'd you ruin Natasha, da 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 da, and put all that together, and then put his last tweet in there. It was like, "Thanks for all the praise" or whatever. The good vibes, guys. See you later.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hard. But I mean, again, this is the top example of right now. Joss Whedon, along with
I believe
J.J.
it's
Abrams.
Josh Whedon.
I'm sorry, Joe Sweden.
Yeah.
Right now, Joe Sweden is, along with J.J. Abrams, like probably the two top directors in Hollywood. So I mean, it's a little different when people are leveraging criticism against them as opposed to like I don't know, a David Ayer who's just getting into Ant-Man. Everyone's like, no, our expectation for Ant-Man is not exactly through the roof, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, I can't put myself in his shoes. I can't even imagine what it's like. I mean, you're directing Avengers 2 is already probably going to be, if it's not already, I think it already beat Avengers for top box office.
Yeah, we had this. It's breaking records and stuff.
It's breaking all sorts of records. I mean, the guy's making amazing amounts of dollars for these studios.
Sure, but I still think the people who are tweeting at him are seeking him out to be mean.
Of course. And
Yeah,
it's
but
not-
I mean, it's just like people are gonna do that because people are stupid, and it's like with the way that Twitter works with the trending topics and all that stuff. It's like when people see what's trending, they want to get involved in that conversation, so they just jump onto it. And it's like it's the sheep mentality of like, oh, everyone hates this thing. I guess I hate this thing too. I'm supposed to hate this thing. Like Twitter is such an easy way to be told how you're supposed to feel about anything. Whenever something happens, you go on Twitter and you click on the hashtag and just look, and that front page is just, it gives you that feeling of where is everyone at right now.
That's
And
the
it's
same
like-
with everything, though. Every video you watch, and like you'll see if like the top 4 or 5 comments are super positive, then that actually does have a psychological effect on how people view that, right?
Entirely, man.
If you're
I mean-
gonna go comment and you see the first like there's a comment that's been like liked or thumbs up like 1,000 times, and it's like, this video is awesome, you're gonna be like, wait a minute,
Oh, this is
video
awesome.
is
I should
maybe
show
it
this
is
to my
awesome.
friends.
Maybe my initial opinion of it was wrong, because I think people are easily sort of dissuaded or persuaded. But I mean, it's one of those things where like I've never seen it in that vein, because I'm a little bit more skeptical than most people. Like if someone's hella hating on something, I'm always the first person to think, maybe I should like this thing. Like, what's going on? How come this is so polarizing as a thing?
Hipster Nick Scarpino.
No, it's not about that, but I mean, like, it all depends on sort of where you're at and how confident you are in how you're engaging with these things, right? Is that when you go to Twitter and everyone's like, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. Well, you need to ask yourself, am I just going, like with Tim saying, am I going with the crowd mentality, or am I smart enough as an individual to form my own opinion of this? I didn't see anything wrong with Natasha or the Black Widow. I thought there was more character development. To me, that was just, we're trying to develop a character that, for all intents and purposes, is not very well rounded, or not very well fleshed out in the movie universe. So she might be amazingly fleshed out in the
She
comic
doesn't
book
have her
series.
own movie. She just pops up in everybody
Right.
else's movies and has.
So let's give her a love interest. Let's make her sexy because she's sexy. Let's go back and talk about her. I mean, they go back into her
Spoilers.
history, and it's kind of really cool, I thought. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. What are you gonna do? But you can't quit. You can't quit Twitter.
I mean, you
think he'll be
can't.
back?
I think that's the thing.
He
though,
quit it
it's like-
already once, right?
But I don't know. I don't know the history of that. But like to me, it's like, all right, who cares? You're not on Twitter. Fine. There's so many people that aren't on Twitter. That doesn't matter. Like Twitter is a great thing if you want to be there, and if you don't want to, it's not a requirement by any means.
How will we talk to him? Do you understand that yesterday Colin discovered or told me at least that Joss Whedon followed him on Twitter? This was our chance to get Joss Whedon on this show.
Yeah, and,
And now it's gone.
That sucks. That really sucks.
Thanks a lot, internet.
But like
This close.
it's Twitter is not necessary for people, and it's a place. It's the internet, and it's just like if you are gonna have a Twitter account, you're gonna engage with people. Guess what? People are gonna talk shit. People are gonna say nice things every once in a while. Like, it's just you're gonna get responses when you put something out there. People are gonna have opinions, and when it is your job to entertain people, people are gonna have double opinions on that because they're paying for it or not paying for it or all that stuff. So it's like
true.
you're literally you're putting something out there to get opinions from people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get them. And it's like, they might not all be nice. And like when there is, like, at the end of the day, the majority of people are sheep. They're going to look at what other people are doing and just copy that and say it again, louder. And when you have Twitter and stuff, it just multiplies that way. And then it's like, then you see people like making funny Photoshops of the Joker or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's funny. I'm going to do that too. And then you do it. And then all of a sudden it becomes this thing where it's like these personalities are raising their popularity based on talking shit about other people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's this cycle of things. And it's just like, I don't know. Is that the nicest thing? No. Is it a bad thing? I don't think so. It's just the way things are.
No, but at the same time, it kind of harkens back to that conversation we had with Felicia Day, where we were talking about like how do you combat that, right? Like how do you fight against that? And the reality is you just put out really positive, good content. Like that's what you have to do. To me, Avengers 2 was good. Age of Ultron was good. Good enough. It wasn't mind blowing. Spoilers. It wasn't Avengers and it wasn't Dark Knight. But it was entertaining. It was exactly what it needed to be. I mean, again, we're not going in there seeing Dances with Wolves, The Last of the Mohicans. Like this is a comic book movie, right? Spoilers. Look at how these people are drawn in the comic books. Like look at how the comic books. I feel like when I read a comic book, you watch this movie. There's a lot more. These characters are a lot more well rounded than I would imagine them being in this form, you know, or in the written form rather. But I don't know. They're telling a story about comic books. I'm like, come on, guys, lighten up, everyone. Jesus
I mean, it's
Christ.
so interesting to me too, because it's like, you know, us as fans of these movies and these people and all this stuff, it's like, I feel like the greatest insult is us saying it's good.
Sure.
You know, it's like, it's because the people that are there saying like, fuck you, you're a sexist piece of shit. And you know, you
But what
suck.
was so sexist about it? I don't understand. What's
The
this
idea,
supposed to be?
I mean, the idea would be behind it, right, is the fact that she had to have a love interest because she's the only female. Like that's all she's there
That's
to do.
it. That's sexist.
There's no, I mean, like I can pull up the whole thing if you want. Try to
Yeah, I
find
mean,
somebody
there's
who's
like a
entire-
whole
No.
bunch of like, why'd she need to randomly get caged up? It was really weird and not necessary at all.
Well, that again, I don't want to go into the
Like, but
that,
th-
that's
there's
just
all that
that's
stuff,
a flaw
but-
in the plot.
but-
That's not a flaw in the fact that they're trying to over sexualize it. That's just they wrote themselves and they're like, well, we got to have some sort of escalated tension here in the third act. Let's kidnap her.
I don't know,
It's
but
just poorly written. It's poorly.
but my
poor
thing is, it's
structure.
like the people that are out there that are saying like, "Fuck you, you're a piece of shit."
Yeah.
Those comments mean nothing. Like I would think it's the actual fans that are saying, "That's fine." It's not
was good.
It's not as good as the first one.
Yeah, but
it's not as good as
he
that.
knows
It's not. You know what I
that.
mean?
You don't think Joss Whedon will watch that cut, that final cut, the final print was like, okay.
Well, no, that's his whole thing. Is the other articles that are up about him lamenting how hard it is to work with Marvel Studios and how these execs got involved with this film.
They're
and
really hard.
Took it away from him, and that's like why he's not doing another one.
It's
Right?
exact
By the
same
way,
reason
did you
why
guys hear
John-
the Spider-Man rumors today?
Uh-uh.
Supposedly the Sony deal came too late, but the original plan was. I should stop saying this. It spoils a little something from Age of Ultron. I'm gonna stop.
I
But they
wanna
were gonna
hear it,
have
though.
Spider-Man in the video.
Wasn't that in
the
Captain
movie.
Marvel too? And they were talking about too.
Yeah.
that's from the Joss thing I read. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was going to be.
Well, okay. There's no spoilers here. At the end of the movie,
Yeah.
Spider-Man was going to be in that scene. If
Oh,
you remember what the
yeah,
end
yeah,
of the
yeah.
movie is,
yeah,
it's
I do.
fucking cool.
Oh,
that
cool.
happened.
That would have been dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's to me a more pressing sort of thing. Is that like is a lot of this being in? I mean, I don't want to speculate to the guy's mental state, but the exact same thing happened with Jon Favreau, where he got through Iron Man 2, was like, I'm done, I can't. And, you know, remember famously he was like, I can't. They want me to do
3.
another one in like 3 months or some crazy shit like that, and they started going into production on 2 without half of a script or something crazy like that. And he was
didn't
like,
show.
Well, that was his problem. Is he was like, I'm taking all this flack, and it's not my fault. Like
Right.
they want me back. You have to work within the constraints. There's no set of perfect circumstances. The bigger issue at hand is, are people starting to watch these movies and like myself thinking, wow, this is just it's good, but it's kind of exactly like everything that's come before it. I am getting that sort of superhero fatigue. And is that because they're not like Marvel is so structured as to how they want these stories to unfold?
Yeah.
Like, who is it? Was it Joss that said Edgar Wright's first draft of
think it
Ant-Man was
was,
the
wasn't
best screenplay that Marvel's ever had in their hands? And they were like, no, we can't do this because it deviates too far. Eventually, they're going to have to get to a point where they're like, you know what? We got to take the reins off because we're putting out the exact same movie every single time.
Sure.
And it's got to be stressful, right? Like, we have carte blanche. We can do whatever we want because there really are no... other than our audience wanting to watch more of our content, that's all we have restriction-wise on what we're allowed to do. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can do this podcast be 5 hours for Christ's sake, and we can take our shirts off. Like, there's no one telling us what we can and can't do.
Colin, remove it.
As long as our audience loves it, they love it. But like, it's an impossible situation that you're put in, and you know, it's no surprise that he doesn't want to come back for the third one.
And I mean, the other thing is like, guess what? Quid and Twitter is like, did that not get a headline everywhere?
Right.
You know,
For
like
the wrong reasons, Tim.
I guess
We
now-
took this man we loved and we defeated him. The internet.
Yeah, did we, or did it just make him look like even more of a cool dude? Where it's just like, I don't know. Like now he's like, oh, you know, he did a good thing and he's not going to deal with this bullshit. He's better than that. You know, so when he comes back, everyone's going to be like on his dick.
Welcome home.
I missed your dick.
Whoa.
Josh Whedon's dick.
Josh Sweet.
Josh Sweden. Do you know the source of that?
No.
We when me and Nick made the Star Wars director video on IGN, you guys should YouTube it. It's pretty cool. Alfredo has a line where he goes, "How about Joss Whedon?" But Alfredo cannot enunciate for his life.
Can't say it.
And so he kept saying Josh Sweden, and it was just hilarious.
It was one word.
You
How
like
about
print
Joss
it.
Whedon?
Josh Sweden.
We had to do an audio punch, and you can actually see it. It's the worst like ADR ever. He's like, "How about Joss Whedon?"
Yeah.
His lips move really fast. It's bad. God bless Alfredo. He's pretty. He's so pretty.
So pretty.
So good at games.